Hello everybody and welcome to another Transformers third party review. Thanks to the guys over at Ages 3 and Up. I'm taking a look at the remastered series, a Gundog version 2N. This is their interpretation of a masterpiece Hound in the style of the G1 cartoon animation. The box is pretty straightforward with Hound on the front there in his robot and vehicle mode. Side of the box again, got a nice kind of embodied image there of Hound. On the back we've got him in some fairly dynamic poses. This side we've got sides of his leg. Bottom of the box we've got your standard warnings. Top of the box we have Hound. It's a nice compact box, saves for cheaper shipping. Let's crack it open. Oh my, oh my, oh my. I'd heard a lot of good things about Gundog, and you know, sometimes you have to take some of the other reviews out there with a pinch of salt. Having him in hand, he is ruddy marvellous. It feels fantastic. All of this section along here is die cast. He's really robust, there's so much weight to him, and he looks absolutely outstanding. What a glorious rendition. Now, I loved their interpretation of Chrome Dome. Wasn't a huge fan of the feet to begin with, but I managed to figure out ways of balancing him, and when you played around with it a bit, you get some really dynamic poses from him. So when I saw this advertised, I thought, he looks really nice, but I wasn't sure if he was going to be the masterpiece offering for me. And I'm really glad I bought him. So glad. What an impeccably well-designed, gorgeous figure. Really nice head sculpt. Got some slightly pursed lips there, so it's not quite G1 animation accurate, but it's a pretty darn good job. Got the shoulder mounted missile, that's just hooked on over the back there. Very tidy finish. Chest section looks really good. Again, everything has a lot of weight to it, and what's plastic is a really solid, robust plastic, and what's die cast is just dense and ruddy amazing. Not a fan of this gun. It's a slanty gun. The handle is somewhat different. It's designed to go in vehicle mode mainly, but the handle does slant, so it doesn't quite grip properly in the hands, but it's in there and it's not going to come out. You also get the option of where you can place his gas tank. You can actually put it on the gun, or there's a slot just on the underside here where you can flip this section forwards. That will then plug into the gas tank, and you can have it on the outer toe. This hand grips the gun perfectly with the standard masterpiece inspired pegs. Oh man, he feels so good in the hand. All of this sheer weight at the base here. Plastic quality is phenomenal as well. Extremely well made. Here he is with some of his other comrade in arms. That's a mighty fine Autobot lineup I'm getting there. Wow, I need more Decepticons. Here he is alongside Ravage. Need to get myself a cage, don't I? And here he is with his oversized Age of Extinction movie equivalent. Now, Poseability on Gundog is remarkably good. We've got slight downwards motion, nice upwards motion there. We've got left and right on the head. The shoulders can come up and down. Nice range there. They can go a full 360 without any hindrance at all from these wing mirrors. Got an upper bicep swivel. We've got just over a 90-degree bend on that elbow. Might best be about spot on, probably about 90 in there. But it's a good range nonetheless. We've got rotation at the wrist. The fingers do open and close. The abs do rock forwards and backwards. I spent ages taking this back section off here, 2 plugs, and getting all this section out. So I can make the waist rotate. It does rotate, but it was just super tight. As you can see, the actual white paint there had stuck this section down. And I just realised I've put the legs on backwards. Right, back I go. There we go, that's better. His legs are now round the right way. I meant well, I did mean well. Right, so the waist rotates now quite freely. The legs come this far forward, and they go that far back. This section goes all the way up. There is a rotation on the inner thigh. We do have a bend at the knee, but it is hindered somewhat by the seat section, so you have to kind of move the seats. And then there is actually a double jointed joint in there. If you can angle it correctly, you can get a really nice deep range. Come round to the front of the leg. These are all die cast, they're so heavy. It's awesome. You've got forward and back, and we have quite a bit of tilt. He can do some amazing stances. I mean, he's just an extremely well balanced figure. I mean, look at that. That's like full on Matrix. But wait, there is more. Not happy with his G1 animation look? Then why not convert him into his G1 toy look? It's pretty straightforward. You want to just open up these sections here at the side, making sure they're nice and clear. Come round to this top section. If I just unplug his shoulder cannon, you want to lift this section up and lift it all the way up, making sure that it's clearing this section here. Come round to these arms. You want to lift the arm up so it reveals this hinge section here, and then bring this entire hinge down like so, so it drops the arms right down. So again with this one, this hinge is up, bring this hinge all the way down so it drops it right the way down. We can then maneuver this section back over, popping the head through and bring that down. Rocking these shoulder pads down, there's a small tab on the side of the bonnet. Let's just push that down and tab that into place. Let's just bring his legs together and tab those in, because the G1 toys were not renowned for their poseability. Make sure the head is fully clear, just pulled up and clicked in. And there we have a very G1 toy-esque hound. I know generally you'll go for the darker coloured version of this mould if you prefer the G1 toy as opposed to the animation, but it's a nice little option that you just drop the shoulders just to give him that G1 toy vibe. Now, as fun as this G1 toy mode is, I'm not a fan of the drop shoulders. I prefer him to be more robust and beefier, but nonetheless, let's get him transformed up into his vehicle mode. So again, just untab these sections here, because we want to lift up this bonnet section again. Untab and untab and lift this section up, pressing down on the head, just lifting that to the front. You want to lift up these shoulder sections, so they're up like so and like so. Right, extend up the torso section, grab this wheel here. So what you need to do, you need to line up that tab. The best way of doing that is to drop the section down first and then lift that section back up at the back. That's going to fold around, so it's kind of level there. And if we come round here, you'll notice that it's just a matter of literally straightening that section up and tabbing that into place. There we go. Bring the arm to the back position like so. make sure the head is dropped down and out of the way, and then you want to rotate the arm sections up and over, so this section goes into the middle, and same with this side, bring this section up and over, so that section is in the middle. Tab the arm sections together, rotate the hands so the small finger is facing upwards, and then undo these arms, pegged in at several points, and kind of just stretch those out, extending as we go. Untab this small section at the bottom here, pull that out, extend that section out, bring that out to the way, lift up this seat. You want to then pull the seat round as well, and there's this small section on the side of the leg. You want to make sure that's out of the way also, and then just come round to the legs and join those together. We're then going to fold this top section over, making sure that this point here lines up with these holes here, and these tabs here line up with these holes in the legs. So just fold it over, make sure they line up, and we're going to push those in. Make sure the ones on the legs line up, and we're going to tab those both in, like so. The fists sit comfortably in the grooves on the legs. Bring the seat back up and over, and there's this tab here and this slot there. That's going to just slot and tab in. You can then bring the back end of the vehicle up. That's going to come all the way up, and as we come over, you're going to notice there's these tab lines. There's a tab here and a tab here. That's going to locate and tab in, and there's a tab on the leg and a tab on there. That's going to tab in on there, and on there, like so. If you can still see some of the grey underside of this arm here, and this section doesn't quite reach, just grab the front of the bonnet and the back of this seat section here and compress this section here. This folds on the inside of the arm and now allows us to tab this green section into the front of the bonnet. Take a look at the bonnet. Just lift this section up here, lift the glass section up, and this section here is going to tab into place. You see there's those two slots on the underside of the bonnet. You're just going to fold those down, apply a little bit of pressure, and they will click into place. There we go. Bring the steering wheel section down. If you look on the back, again, there's another little groove that will just slot over that peg on the underside there. Locating that firmly into place. Make sure the windscreen is upright. Just bring up the rear bumper stroke fender and just slot that up like so. Finally, just slide these sections of the bonnet down, and you'll see there's a tab just underneath there. We're just going to work that down onto the tab, applying a little bit of pressure, and there we go. There we have him in his gorgeous vehicle mode. You can now add your additional accessories just by flipping down this back section here. Bring that up. We can now put the gas tank on the back there, as well as the tyre, and you can slide his gun into the back groove sections on the back there. You can do the same with the rocket launcher. Fortunately, this section doesn't rotate on the rocket launcher, so you would have to switch those out. You'd have to pull this section out, plug that into this side, and then plug the rocket launcher into this side. And there he is in his vehicle mode, all fully done. It's definitely a very good interpretation of the Willy Jeep. I do like it. I'm not sure it's spot on. I think that TFC done the vehicle mode slightly better, although the scale was wrong. This scales pretty well, I think. I'm not sure, maybe it's just a little bit too big. Trouble is, it's so difficult to get a bot mode and the vehicle mode scaling absolutely correctly. I think it's kind of one or the other. Generally, I'll put them alongside the vehicles, and just if they look okay to the eye, then brilliant. As long as they're not completely massively out, then I'm pretty happy. I think in theory he should be roughly the same sort of size as Brawny. Unfortunately, he is quite a bit bigger, but that's not to say that the scale is completely out. I don't know without having to look in the original schematics of the vehicles, but I'm not going to have him in his vehicle mode. The vehicle mode is nice. It doesn't scale perfectly in my opinion, but it's definitely an amazing vehicle mode nonetheless. Not gonna lie, I did not expect that to be able to get in the back of Optimus Prime. Bravo, Maketoys. Do you see what I mean about the difference in the front end sections? The Maketoys version actually has this section come all the way over the front, which was pretty much like he was portrayed in his cartoon and the toy. But the actual official vehicle, from the pictures I saw, from what I remember of being a kid, the actual Willy Jeep kind of had the mudguards kind of start at the engine block, and you could see some of the engine workings at the side there. So I think they've done a pretty good representation. But Maketoys, in my opinion, is a masterpiece Hound. He looks incredible in both his bot and vehicle mode. Scale junkies like myself may have slight problems with the vehicle mode, but bot mode, he looks incredible. He is portrayed fantastically. The joints are tight, the die cast is glorious, the paint apps are sublime. He is ruddy good. Honestly, could not be more happier with this figure. Maketoys are really impressing me. I like the look of their combiners, but I don't like the scale. I'm definitely a masterpiece kind of guy. Chrome Dome set a new precedent for masterpiece third-party figures, in my opinion. It was a fantastic and glorious looking figure, and he was a headmaster. Gundog, he has followed suit. I love him. I see what all the hype was about. I am extremely glad that I purchased him. I mean, with companies like Maketoys and Mastermind Creations now joining the masterpiece race, it's going to be very exciting, and we as fans are going to be extremely blessed with choice. Really looking forward to their Inferno and Grapple. Hope they scale really well with Optimus Prime. They were two of my favourite characters in the G1 animation, so honestly can't wait for those to come out. Hope you found this video useful. If you do like this toy, make sure you pay ages 3 and up a visit by clicking the link in the description below. And until next time, from myself and Gundog, thanks for watching. Goodbye.